Welcome back to U.S. True Crime. Today, we unravel the chilling story of George Brinkman, a man who betrayed the trust of those closest to him in the most horrifying way. On June 12, 2017, the quiet town of North Royalton was shaken by the brutal murders of Suzanne Taylor and her two daughters, Kylie and Taylor Pfeiffer.
And I arrived and all the cars were in their exact spots. So it was very weird that all their cars were there and no one was home. And I later learned that she missed the emergency softball practice because her mom helps run it, and Taylor's one of the best pitchers in Ohio, and she coaches leagues. So I knocked on the front door and was yelling her name because I was concerned that her mom was holding her there and not letting her go anywhere. And no one would answer, and the dog wasn't barking, which is very strange because they never take the dog anywhere. So I circled the house. All the blinds were shut. All the windows were closed to what I saw. And I was really concerned. So my father, because we do house reconstruction and stuff like that, oftentimes they don't give us keys. All the outside bars and padlocks are locked from the previous owner. So for that reason, I have a lockpick set that I use to get into those for demolition and rehab purposes. And they have a Latin saying in law, what is necessary is legal. And for either medical emergency or to help her, I decided to pick lock. And when I walked in, I heard the dog barking from Suz's closed bedroom door, which was never latched shut. She would always swing it closed when Scott was there when she was changing, but it was never latched shut, not one time. So the animals could get in and out, and I found that very strange. The house was silent, the lights were on. You could hear the AC running. It was kind of damp and had a musty smell. And I opened up the bedroom door, and there was a comforter covering the entire bed. But judging by the build, Kylie wearing a teal blue shirt, her arm and leg were hanging off the side of the bed. I knew that they were dead, at least one of them. The bed didn't look right. I assumed there were others there, but I couldn't bring myself to look. So all I touched was the door handle walking in, the screen door, the main door, and then her bedroom door, and then I turned right around and walked out. Didn't touch or look at anything else. I couldn't bear to do it.
Things that I should have noticed was when I knocked on the door, I didn't hear Eris. Eris is your dog. And normally you knock on the door, Eris will start barking. And Eris didn't bark. And I thought, well, maybe I just didn't knock hard enough, but I didn't think it was a big deal. And I had the thought of going over the window and looking in, but her bedroom window before I accidentally locked her out. And she climbed in through the bedroom window once, so I figured I could go in there. But the kids were with me, and I was like, this isn't worth getting in trouble for, and I should have.
So when you went up and you knocked and you approached, so the dog doesn't come, is there anything else that you see or observe?
Just the fact that George's van is there, the door is shut, and the door is locked. So her and George had been fighting. We'll talk about that soon.
And then the van.
And then the van. The van was not parked in the driveway. It was parked in front of the dining room window.
Okay, is that odd?
Yes. So normally, at least when I'm there, and I've seen them before, they'll park over by where Taylor's car is. And when we were both there, it'd be one after the other. So the spot in front of Taylor's car was open.
Like, is he in the grass?
He was in the grass, yes. So
he pulled in nose first, or was he back?
Back in. So you have the house and the bedroom.
Is that typical?
No. And his car was right here. There's like a bush right here. The porch is right here. Susan's car is right here. But so he's backed in. Here's I call it the dining room. The dining room table's right here.
Okay.
He was backed in, so facing out.
In the grass.
In the grass.
That's odd. Tell me about George.
All right. So George is a friend of hers, apparently from childhood.
Mm-hmm.
I met him. He lived in his van, or like he still does live in his van. And she said that he always had a crush on her. So she said that he would constantly ask her, "How do I get a girl like you?"
Mm-hmm.
So there was that kind of context. So then I start coming around, and it's the December time frame, and she's like, "I'm not going to let a friend freeze to death in his van on the street." So he was spending a lot of nights at her house. And then when I started coming along and spending nights, he was like, "No, kind of went away.
Yeah, good morning, Terrence and Karina. This standoff ended about 30 minutes ago, and we just spoke with the Brunswick Police Department, getting us details about how this standoff ended. They tell us that the SWAT teams did a tactical entry into this home here on Valley Forge Drive in Brunswick. They say the front door was unlocked, and the man inside, they have now identified him. His name is George Brinkman. He is 45 years old. They are now naming him as a suspect in this North Royalton triple homicide. They say they went into the house and they got him out peacefully. He walked out of the house in handcuffs. There were no shots fired in this, but they do say that that George did have a pistol inside the house during this 9-hour standoff with police.
Well, I guess I kind of want to just figure out what brought you here today. What is?
I guess,
And I'll caveat that I don't have a lot of information on that, so sometimes we'll come in and help some of the local PDs with some issues. I'm getting here kind of late in the game, so if you can just kind of explain.
yes, I was supposed to talk with Detective Rybicki. I don't want to say her name wrong. Yesterday, and I didn't make it. I didn't get back from where I was till late. I was tired. I planned on coming in. Next thing you know, I've got officers swarming the door, and I barricaded myself in.
Because you were afraid?
Well, yeah, you see a bunch of cops coming, and my biggest concern wasn't for me though; it was for the girl whose house it was, and the 2 dogs. And once they were safe, then
Who are you staying with?
her name's Amy. I've known her since we were tadpoles, I guess. She's like 9 years younger than me.
Are you guys like is it like a family friendship?
Yeah, it's like
families?
family.
Oh, good. Okay.
Her and my mom. Her mom and my mom were best friends growing up. Her mom's the one that got my mom away from my abusive dad.
Okay.
And then they ran into problems. They stayed with us for a while.
Did you ever experience any type of abuse, or was it directed towards your mom? Or was it a
It
little
was directed towards all of us.
thinking about going back to doing mechanic work, or like what you're doing now?
I like what I'm doing now. The old man just retired. My son has a company. It's his first shot at running the company.
Yeah.
The company business. I guess it's been around for 15, 17, 20 years. And
What's the company's name again?
7th Generation Ventures.
Has it been around for 7 generations?
I think so.
He was the old man that you initially worked for.
Gene John.
Gene John
Gene,
and John, like
Yeah, Joey.
his last name.
Who, John?
I was actually, I met him through his daughter who I was dating, and we ended up being engaged.
Oh, no kidding.
Yeah. And then when I got fired from the automobile business, he had that job lined up for me.
So you guys obviously did not get married, or did you get married?
No,
You didn't.
no.
What's her name?
Stacy, Stacey.
Mhm.
John.
How long were you guys together?
Yeah. Almost, I don't know, 10 years.
Oh,
I think
are you guys dating? You're not dating now, are you?
No. I'm trying to do everything I can to help him get it off to a good start, because it's his first, how do I,
Business venture.
venture.
Yeah.
Business venture.
That's a good sign, at least for the
Yeah.
family. You still work for them, and
Oh yeah, I mean,
you have a good relationship with them.
I never had no hard. Never. I'm sorry. Somebody kind of walked.
There's a window there.
Never had no hard feelings towards them for anything their daughter did.
That's good.
No, I mean they've always treated me good. I mean, it kind of sucked when it came to Christmas time. You know, obviously, I understand why I was never invited to any Christmas parties they had because Stacey was going to be there with a new boyfriend. That would have just caused a lot of some trouble. So that's understandable. But Gene would call me up. You know, we might be in between projects and find out that somebody had dumped a bunch of books somewhere. Hey, can you run out here and grab these for me? Got them. On my way. I mean,
Yeah.
I owe the man a lot.
Kind of, what brought you here today? I'm trying to make that connection. So there was an issue with the police last night. What was that related to? Hey, what's that related to?
Like I said, I thought I was supposed to talk to a detective, right, Vicky.
Huh?
My friend Sue and her two daughters, I guess were killed this weekend. And I know I saw Sue Saturday, and I saw the girls as I was pulling out of the driveway. And I guess I'm the last one to see them.
Okay.
And I guess her boyfriend found them. Taylor's, that's the oldest daughter.
Mhm.
Me and Taylor had this bond. It was ridiculous. I've known Sue since graduate grade school. And I was there when Taylor was first born. We lost contact over the years.
Mhm.
And this recently got back in contact about 2 years ago. And me and Taylor hit it right off. I mean, it's like we never lost that bond she had when she was born. And then we were sitting there watching Jurassic Park. And I don't know if you've seen the movie
Yeah.
where the little Timmy's on the fence and they're yelling for him to jump, 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 jump.
Yeah.
And he gets blown off into the Dino Man. Well, she called me the Dino Man. Her name was Timmy for a minute.
That's funny.
No.
What?
Because I should have been there for Saturday. And that was it.
Oh, just careful, man. Take a second.
It's been eating me out this whole time.
You said something interesting to me. You said that you think you might be the last person to see them alive.
Yeah.
What makes you think that?
Well, I know when Sue and I were talking, I was having issues with staying around the area. I'd asked her if her and I could just talk because I didn't want Taylor to get upset if I was leaving. And she would have.
Leaving?
Yeah, I was tired. This happened because of work Friday.
Okay.
I got angry. I got upset. The project is not going like it should. And instead of hitting what was I thought was a fake wall, was a real wall. Made of cement.
Okay.
Yeah. Real wall wins every time.
Yeah.
I found that out.
What was so stressful that made you want to hit the wall? Fake or real? But
the project's not going as fast. They really screwed us with the projects this year because we're supposed to start 2 in April and these 2 in May.
Mm-hmm.
They put them all 4 together
in which month?
in May.
Okay.
So we had to find 2 other people to run the other 2 warehouses. Now Jason and I ran the main ones.
Mm-hmm.
None of the carriers I usually have can work for me because they're working at the other warehouses because they're closer. And it just, it's been doing this and me and Jason, he sounded a little pissed off on the phone because he is the boss, I understand. And it came down to I'm paying you sitting around and doing nothing, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, you're right, I'm sorry. And then as soon as I hung up the phone, I just swung at the wall. I don't obviously do it often.
Yeah.
So what you're saying is that
I
I
just
am saying that.
no, it didn't make me go
It's upsetting.
completely bonkers. I just
No, it's upsetting.
I hold everything in on the inside. And then once in a while, usually I'll, with the Skeeter books there, I'll pretend, like I'm boxing because they're soft.
Yeah.
And that's it. And I just turn around and just hit the wall. That was it.
With Sue, so when did you learn that they were the victim of this tragedy?
When I was coming home from North Canton Sunday night,
Okay.
I think it was, I want to say it was around 8 when Taylor's boyfriend called me. I mean, I texted her during the day because when they go to they have softball on Sundays. When they go to softball, they don't answer the phone.
Okay.
And
What time period is that?
if I had my phone, I'd have it.
Okay.
Sometime afternoon. That's all.
Okay.
I don't know what time their games are scheduled, but I just said, hey, thanks for keeping my head straight yesterday.
Yeah.
I don't know if you're at softball or not. I can't remember. Give me a text or a message later and we'll talk some more.
Okay.
And when I didn't hear from her, I didn't think nothing of it because sometimes we'll go a day or two or 4 or 5 and up. And then I get the phone call from Dale and I'm like, no, you're joking, right? And he said no.
Just for my own understanding, who's who here? I'm not trying to upset you. I can tell that you were very close to them. Can you help us by kind of running through that day on Saturday? Just what you remember?
I know it's hard. It's the hardest thing.
Just run through.
I can tell you, Andy and I do this a lot. We get it, we understand. But you can help us. I mean, that's the thing. That's what we're here for. We're trying to do that. So your help is important. That's what we're talking. Let me ask you this. Is she still on Friday?
No.
No. So Saturday, you saw Saturday. Okay.
I asked if it was okay if I come over around 1 because I work till about 12.
Did you do that? Do you remember? Was that done by text message or did you call her? Or how did that?
Text message, we never really talked about it.
Let me ask you a question. And this one, I gotta ask this to everybody. Did you have anything to do with any of this? What happened to them?
We're gonna.
I have to ask that to anybody.
I know you're.
I can tell that's
No.
good. And can you help us work through? Can you help us work through kind of? Man.
I just.
You understand? I got to ask that question, right?
Yeah.
To the best of your knowledge or your recollection, what you recall of sort of Saturday, I guess is that the
What time do you get up on Saturday?
sort of
Just
the
run
beginning
through
of Saturday?
your day. I know it's hard. I know you don't want to do that, but you know what? Like I said, it's all about help.
You leave in the house.
Around 7.
Do you remember? Did you
Went
get
to work.
Oh, sorry.
I mean, I had my monster, my cigarette, and I got up. went to work, opened the warehouse, got everything organized, and then sat there and watched movies on my computer until somebody decided to show up.
Anybody contact you during that time? Did you
Oh, I'm
send
sure.
text messages,
You mean them?
them, or anybody else?
I texted Sue that morning if we could talk. I said about 1 o'clock, and she said that's fine. She said the girls might not even be home by then. I told her I wanted to discuss what was going on with me and work and with Amy and with everything. Because I don't know, I was just having a bad day and I felt like Amy's house big. Have a cigarette. That's big. I hate this day. Please.
Well,
And I'm a 2-pack-a-day smoker, so I'm kind of hurt.
can we get through Saturday? See what we can do?
Yeah.
I know. I want to do that too.
Alright, so I get this, I call Sue, text Sue, sorry, wrong word. Told her I'll be there at 1. I show up at 1 o'clock. As I'm backing my van into her front yard, her and her girls are pulling in into her car. And I'm like, oh, alright, I don't really want to talk in front of her. Especially Taylor. Because Taylor is, she's very sensitive. So I didn't want to get her upset. I wasn't sure if she had plans with Dale that night. So I went inside. One of the girls had to use the bathroom. And then they said something about wanting to go to the mall. So I gave them $20 to go eat. Say, hey, can you give me about maybe 2:30 to talk to your mom? They're like, oh yeah, sure, not a problem, bye. Me and Sue talk.
What are you guys talking about?
I tell her about what's going on at work, how I think Amy's treating me. She tells me about her and her boyfriend Scott broke up. And then she started telling me about some guy that she was gonna hook up for dinner, and at that point I just zoned out because here she just broke up with Scott. She's already talking about dinner with another guy. And it hadn't even been a week yet.
That's kind of typical with her. Like,
she would do that. I mean, I don't.
what's your relationship with her? Were you guys ever romantic, or are you just like
always
very
been
close friends?
Always only been friends.
Okay.
And we knew even back in high school it would never work anything other than friends.
Where'd you get that?
Valley Forge.
Okay.
Is she a good mom?
Yeah.
She's a good mom.
I mean, if she can be a little overprotective.
I'll talk to her. You know, hug her.
Yeah.
Yeah, a little bit sometimes. She did have to know when they were in school what time her classes started, what time her classes let out, what time they ate, what time they did. I mean, she was a little too overprotective, but for the most part, she didn't have any issues with him.
How is she as a person?
How is anybody as a person? I mean, she got her goods and her bads. I mean, it's just
What did you like about her?
money.
What annoyed
The
you?
whole, I hate to say it, but one guy to the other, just because they had money.
Okay.
Now that's her personal preference.
Yeah.
But I don't want to hear about it.
Yeah.
You guys have a problem? You're an adult, fix it. And I would tell her that. Hey, fix it yourself. You're an adult. I'm tired of trying to fix your problem. Well, come on. It's like, stop it.
Does she come to you a lot with her problems?
Oh, yeah. I wouldn't even get a good morning text and be like, I hate my life.
Really?
Really? good morning to you too, sunshine.
Yeah.
And then she would tell me either her car was having problems, or she was having problems with Scott, or her boss was giving her hassles. It was just something different every day. And when she came back from Disneyland, it's not a, hey, how you doing? I'm back. That was the worst trip ever. And all I said to her was like, I'm starting to realize you're never going to be happy.
Mm-hmm.
And all expense. And all because Kylie said something. She'd never been to Disneyland, and dude whipped out his wallet and paid for the trip in advance.
Sounds like a good dude.
Yeah. I kept trying to get her. I was like, you know what? Maybe you're too stuck up on Dave that you're ruining it with Scott. No. I don't do that. And then all I heard about, I miss Dave. I think Dave traded you in for a short little Asian girl with 2 children.
Mm-hmm.
You were his side piece the whole time. You found out about it because you found out where he actually lived and went knocking on the door, and she answered. I was like, most people would walk away from that and say, you know what, I learned my lesson.
Mm-hmm.
No. She wanted me to go over there and talk to him. She wanted me to follow him to work. I said, no.
It's annoying.
I said, no, I can't do that.
Yeah.
I said, you got to learn. You got to get over him. He is not worth it. Scott's a tremendously better guy than Dave ever was. She convinced me that running away from my problems will never solve them. And yeah, I've heard it before.
Can I ask you, like, what were you running away from, or what does she perceive that you were running away from?
Like I said, my work, the whole being a house bitch for Amy, not being able to get my own jump start on life. Every time I start to get ahead, something comes along and derails it, and I'm back to square one again. I have done square one so many times I can do it blindfolded with the backstroke. So it's nothing new. But she's told me that Taylor would be very hurt if I just up and left. I have a cigarette now. I just need a cigarette.
Well, just one last thing, just to reiterate, Alex, we'll see what we can hear. This is why you're here, right? You got to figure that out.
Yeah, I'm being blamed for it.
No, not being blamed for it. I'm going to ask you if you've anything to do with it.
Hell no. And I don't know if I can say this, but I'm already in trouble anyways. I don't give a shit. If I find the motherfucker who did it, I'm sorry. There ain't going to be no trial. You don't take Timmy from me. You don't take my best friend from me that I grew up with, or other daughter.
I have that. That's fine. I get it.
Who do you think could have done this?
I don't know.
I'm just
I don't know anybody that would. She can be annoying, okay? Women are annoying. Guys are annoying. Not that annoying. Kept to herself mostly. Unless she needed something, then she was very, very politely asked. Taylor, she needs the goddamn chicken nuggets off your plate without even asking.
You'll see that.
And I keep thinking, what if I would have waited another 15, 20 minutes and not left? What if I would have waited to talk with these two? But my whole thing is, if I would have stayed 15, 20 minutes, another 40 minutes.
You were driving away, did you see anything suspicious?
No, like I said, I wasn't paying attention to the way, but I was in the neighbor's car, but that's it. There's no reason for it.
That's the thing we're trying to figure out. I'm Deputy Kennedy from Stark County Sheriff's Office, okay? And I know that you've been talking to these guys about some stuff, but you'll have to forgive me because I don't know what this whole conversation's been, all right? What I'm here to talk to you about is the jumps, okay?
You work for who? Who do you work for?
Jason John.
Jason. That's the son?
Son.
Okay. Dad just retired,
Yeah.
right? How long have you known those guys? If you had to guess. I'm not going to hold you to exact time, so don't stress about that or anything.
10 years.
About 10 years.
12 years.
House set a bunch of times when they go on vacation.
Yeah.
Right? You've done that a bunch, right? For them, house set.
Yeah.
And
I just did that.
Jason actually said you're a hard worker. He actually said you're one of his best workers. He said that I talked to him. He said you're a phenomenal worker. So you were house setting for them this past week, correct?
Yeah.
Okay. And how long was that arrangement? Like, when did you guys talk about that? Like, did they come to you and say, "Hey, we're going to be gone. We need somebody"?
It was at least a couple weeks ahead of time.
Okay.
Because they wanted to make sure. Can we move those from
Sure.
they're kind of distracting.
So you couldn't really count on it. They wouldn't say, "Hey, we're supposed to be home around Sunday at 8." They would say, "We're heading home on Sunday."
Yeah.
So you just kind of
Usually about an hour out, they text me. They did Sunday, said they were shocked.
They did text you Sunday?
Yeah.
Okay. What was your phone number?
What does Stark County got to do with that?
Well, I'm going to get to it. Okay. So the reason that Stark County's here is because, correct me if I'm wrong, these guys have told you, and in essence, I believe, you're probably the last person that saw these 3 girls alive. Would you agree with that?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Well, the coincidence that comes into play with Stark County is you're probably the last person that saw Gene and Bobby alive.
What?
So that's a
Hold on.
Hear me out for a second. Hear me out.
It's important.
You asked me a question, I'm going to answer it for you.
No.
Okay.
Listen.
I'm going to answer it for you. I'm going to answer your question for you.
Relax.
So
You gotta listen.
you would agree with me that with that being done, there are a lot of those sticky notes that need answered, right? You would agree with that. Right? You would agree with me on that. And that's why we're here. That's why we're here, George, is we have to clear up these things. And you've been extremely cooperative with these guys today. And we appreciate it because you're helping us clear up and you're actually helping us answer a lot of these questions. All right? Those tears and everything, you love those people. You do. You love them. You don't react like that if you don't care about somebody. There's not a doubt in my mind that you don't care for all 3 of these girls and that you don't care for those people. Not a doubt in my mind. Your reactions tell me that. That's a human emotion and you can't control it, but your heart feels that. Right? So what I need you to do is help me clear these questions up, George. That's what I need to do. These are all people that you care about. And I know you care about them. And at this point in time where we're at in our investigation, you're really the only person that can take these away.
Okay, so, I mean, I thought I would be accused of 3, now it's 5. And then, no.
Take a second and think about what happened.
George, what made you think you're being accused? Can you tell me that? What made you think that you're being accused?
Like you said, I'm the last person to see not 3 but 5 people alive.
Okay.
You don't just have questions and send SWAT to the door. That's why I thought I was being accused of these. That's why they came bum rushing the house last night. And the fucking reporter I was talking to.
When did you talk to a reporter?
She texted me yesterday when she found out that I was friends with Sue, Lacey, Chris. For 19.
Do you know that? Like, do you know her? Or?
She just wanted to get me to go on camera and talk about the good things about And I said, I won't do that until I talk, because I was waiting on North Royalton to call.
Okay.
Because I don't know what the procedure is.
Okay. So she was texting you, asking you about this
And
stuff?
she sent me a friend's request.
Is that how you guys were talking? Was on Messenger?
Yeah. And then I was talking to her last night, letting her know that, you know, I had nothing to do with these three, and that, you know, the cops are outside my house. I'm going to die one way or the other.
Can I ask you a question? Listen, George, look at me. Can I ask you a question? So here's something that's going on in my head. So a abnormal reaction, right? Like if the police came to my door, I wouldn't be in a situation where I would retrieve a firearm and then
I had it in the room with me when I saw them.
Listen,
I know.
listen, look at me. Look at me. I wouldn't go to a window and put it to my head. I wouldn't sit there as a diabetic and just drink so much sugar that I put myself to a 460 blood sugar level. That's hyperglycemia. You're pushing diabetic ketoacidosis.
My blood sugar has been so high, I've seen always around things.
130.
I know.
Listen, dude,
my average was 550 though.
Listen. I'm not sitting here trying to dispute this, but listen, do you understand how kind of the totality
I see
of
how it
everything?
looks. I see how it looks.
Here's what I'm getting at, George.
I need a cigarette right now, or I can't talk anymore.
George, let me ask you a question. Let's slow it down a little bit. Take a deep breath. Relax. Okay? Let me ask you a question. With your hand, how did that happen? How did your hand happen?
I got mad at work Friday and I punched a brick wall. I thought it was a fake wall. It turns out it was a real cement wall.
Okay, what'd you get mad at?
We're doing that.
It's
just work-related stuff. You know, nothing. Stressed. We're not getting out of there fast enough. I don't feel like I'm doing a good enough job. And I just turned around after I got off the phone with Jason to hit the wall. I thought I was hitting the wood wall.
Okay.
I was in the wrong spot and I smacked the cement wall.
Ready for your cigarette? Take a little break. George, it's all about clearing up questions, and you're doing a hell of a job doing it for us. We have to get rid of them.
I know, I understand the question. But
Yep, we have to get rid of these questions.
I know.
And you're the one that can answer them. We don't mean to be personal. We gotta do that.
Oh, another one.
Yeah. We're ready for the break. What do we need to do? Relax for this cigarette.
Oh no, I'm used to last night, so I kept my hand on it. Because I can't get up.
You're okay, man.
Yeah, man, you're good. Stand up. You're good. They're excited you're gonna get down, right? Don't worry about it. You're good.
So we're not here. Okay, I can't honestly say, I can't go to the prosecutor. I can't say, hey, look, he did, because it's not true. And I gave you the benefit of the doubt on everything that I could. So it's like, okay, so, I don't think you're here. I can't read your heart. I can never tell you. All I can do is trust in you. I don't believe there was any premeditation. I don't believe there's anything that person had any plan to do anything. Could you? I don't think that you're a witness to anything. I mean, if you tell me you are, then fine. Then we'll identify the other person and get some more information. I'm kind of like, well, it could have been a self-defense thing. Maybe this girl was crazy. Maybe she came at him with a knife. Maybe something happened, or it's an argument situation. Maybe you were telling her, hey, you need to chill out on these guys, or not treat Scott poorly, or not do something else. But something happened, and it's right in here. But I don't know. But I don't think this is my biggest concern. If you're not this is what I want to be able to go back and tell people. This is not a premeditated situation. This is not an intentional thing that was planned out to hurt anybody or anything like that. This is a situation where an argument happens, emotion got the best of us or the best of them, and maybe she hit him first, maybe she slapped him, maybe she kicked him, and we're gonna respond, and then we get scared, and it just all falls down. So that's what I'm trying to figure out, because I don't believe you. I think you care about all these people. You know, I don't exactly. That's exactly right. And so that's what I want to be able to show is this is not who you are. This is not who you are as a person. Do people make mistakes? Yeah. Does things get beyond us? Yes. But this is not a planned out, perpetrated, cold calculating kind of thing. This is a situation that happens. And that's what that's what we want to figure out is why. Why did it happen? Okay.
You have to respectfully ask to have a lawyer. That's what this is coming down to. I no disrespect to you.
No, I'm not taking it as any disrespect. Okay. I'm going to respect that. I'm going to step out and talk with the investigators. Okay. Okay. If you want to reach out for us at a later time, you can, go to the detectives and then, but I'm not going to talk to you anymore. I want to respect that. Okay. So I'm going to step out of the room for just a few minutes. So please stay here. Okay.
I'm not going to.
Okay. I'll be back.
What's that?
A cigarette?
Might as well do my final one.
What's your drink?
Family sake. You have the right guy.
Yes, I did.
Tell me what happened. How did this?
So it's like peeling an onion, the why is layers and layers.
Things were going fine. We were talking. And then I don't know what set her off. She just started going all batshit crazy. Not swinging or anything, but she just lost her cool.
Has that happened before?
Not to this degree. I mean, she's gone from being okay, or as I used to say, 0 to bitch in less than a second, but nothing like this. I mean, I don't know if it was something I said that set her off, because all we were talking about was how I was going to, pack up and leave, and, it would probably be better for everybody if I wasn't around, because everybody didn't have to worry or pretend to worry about me. And she just lost it. And then we started screaming and yelling and arguing. And then she got up in my face and I snapped.
What happened? She just
Yeah, she got right up in my face, and I'm not saying I thought she was gonna hit me or anything. Don't take this wrong. She is a female, and yeah, I'm sure they can do some damage. And I just snapped. I lost control. I completely lost control. I picked her up, threw her to the ground, trying to get her to shut up and stop, and she just wouldn't listen.
Almost like a wrestling type of thing, like you picked her up and
Yeah.
So what happened next?
I took her in her bedroom and I threw her in her bed and told her, just shut the fuck up and chill out, just chill out. And she just wouldn't shut up.
She said,
Fuck you, you're an asshole.
so what happened then?
And I tried to walk away, but she had said something that I attacked her in the bed, and the girls got all, how do I put it? We got all, not scared, but it's like they went on the offensive. I'm like, no, no. And then they just,
Fight it out.
yeah. And I tried everything I could, and I just couldn't. I mean, yeah, they hit me and it didn't hurt, but I just kept thinking, what the fuck? I just got betrayed. You know, I didn't do shit. She's the one that snapped on me. And I just lost it.
What happened?
I made them all go in the bedroom. I grabbed one of the knives from out of the kitchen. And I wasn't going to hurt them. I was just going to tie them up and just walk away. Just so I didn't have to try to fight them anymore to get out the door. The dog was going crazy. And she just wouldn't shut up. I don't know if she snapped or what. I don't. And I keep replaying it over in my head. What should I have done different? I mean, besides what I did. Why? What did I say? What did I do? What did I do this time, you
Was
know?
she like tied up at this point?
Yeah.
What was she tied up with?
She had zip ties in the house.
So,
And then she broke through the first set. And then I used the duct tape she had in her house just to keep their hand. And I'm going to say this now. None of them were sexually molested. No, that's
No, I
not. No,
would not believe
no,
that.
no, no. That's. And she just wouldn't shut up.
After years.
I even tried putting duct tape on her mouth.
Johns. I just want to get everything out there. And again, I don't think that was something that was planned out. I think that, correct me if I'm wrong, but when were you panicking? Maybe you felt like you needed to get some money to get out of there. You didn't know what to do. You had to see something. You said, get out of the area.
What with her gun?
Yeah. What happened with that?
And something had happened to his face. She had medicine that I was giving her at, once in the morning, once at night to help him heal. And she picked him up and she said it was worse, that I didn't do anything to take care of the dog. And then Gene came in and said something about, and I made a mistake and I lit a cigarette in the house.
Mm-hmm.
And he started going on this whole year now attitude about smoking, because he's a reformed smoker.
Oh,
And I understood why he wanted me to quit. Just the stress from the day before. And then he had a pistol downstairs that I don't know if he forgot he left out, but when I went down to do laundry, I saw it sitting there, and it was another 1911, chrome plated. And I was like, oh, this is cool. Try twirling it around. So, being yelled at no more. So I told him to go up in the room and shut the fuck up. I didn't know it was loaded at first. I don't know why he would have kept a loaded gun sitting out. And then, I asked Bobby, just lay in the bed. Nothing's gonna happen, lay in the bed. Gene, lay in the bed. I need time to get out. I need time to go. And as soon as I turned my back, he turned around and came running at me. And that's when I shot him in the head.
Was it like a reaction thing? Or?
Yeah, I had my back to him, and he turned around, and it was like a jerk reaction, and the damn thing went off. I'm like, oh, fuck. And then I just looked. That's my son. He was hitting the hip, but he still tried to fight. Bobby sat up, was screaming, And all I did is I just said, shut up. And I didn't even know I pulled the trigger. I was just pointing at the guy like you would point your finger at somebody. And next thing you know,
Let's take a second.
I never ever thought about doing anything like this to anybody. But I don't know. I wish I knew why I snapped. I can handle when other people snap. I've never snapped like that before. I mean, yeah, I'll get angry once in a while. And granted, this was not. I will punch a wall. You know, I'll kick a tire.
You said this
This
happened when you
happened.
hit her. Right?
Yes, it did. I tried to get her to shut up, but I punched her.
People, I mean, you do a lot for her.
It doesn't matter. I shouldn't have did that.
No. But I'm saying,
And then the girl came in the middle of it. And then I started freaking out of bed. And then everything went to hell. And that's when I grabbed the knife. Get them all in the bedroom. She had zip tied it up.
did
The door.
the girls like see you like physically like wrestling around with her?
I heard the door open and I came out of the bedroom and they're like, hi. And then their mom started screaming. And then that's when I said, get in the bedroom.
You had the knife.
Yeah, because I was trying first to get you to be quiet. That's all, just to be quiet. I never ever thought I hurt her.
Did you
I
have
never
that knife?
thought I could do anything like that because I had the knife when I came out. I had it down. Ow. I had it down by my side when they
Right.
came in. Because I was going to try to get out the door. And then she started screaming, help, 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 help. And then the girl started panicking, and that's when I pulled the knife. I said, go, get in there.
How did the girls panic?
Taylor is easily stressed, easily panicked. She heard her mom screaming for help. She thought, I don't know, I can't say what she thought. She started crying and shaking. Kylie stood there and got this look on her face and I'm like, oh shit, here comes the Brahma bull. And I got scared. I didn't want to touch them at all. I didn't want to hurt them in any way. And that's why I put the knife up to scare them, to get in the bedroom, that's all. And they went in the bedroom, I grabbed the zip ties, and then there was duct tape sitting right there on the counter. I can't.
Did you bring that stuff into the house?
No.
Or was it there?
That stuff was there already.
Okay.
The duct tape that I had in my truck was like a thin roll like this, but it was in my toolbox that I'd taken out and put in Amy's garage. It was sitting there. And then Taylor started freaking out. She said, you killed my mom, you killed my mom, you killed my mom. I freaked out. I jumped on Taylor and I put her face in the pillow. I said, shut up, shut up. Just please shut up. And now the whole time I'm hearing that noise coming, I'm going to go over trying to get it to go away.
Over Sue?
And I could still hear it. And I'm like, oh my God, what is that noise? And then Taylor stopped moving. And then Kylie, so quiet one the whole time. She started yanking and kicking and you know, even though her legs were taped, she was kicking and jumping all over the place. And I looked over and I saw a phone charger cord, and I just grabbed into it around her neck. And I kept it there till she stopped moving. I wish it would have been me. No, I do. They deserve to live, not me. They were great people. I'm not.
And so, the tragic story concludes. Taylor showed signs of resistance, but ultimately suffered a fractured skull. Brinkman might have stopped after losing control with Suzanne, but because her daughters witnessed the act, they met the same fate. On November 5th, 2018, Brinkman pleaded guilty to the North Royalton murders and waived his right to a jury trial. He was found guilty and sentenced to death on May 31st, 2023. For the John murders, he also pleaded guilty and received a death sentence on October 4th, 2019. Brinkman remains on death row at the Chillicothe Correctional Institution, with his execution set for September 23rd, 2026.